Alright kids, Misty's back from her nervous breakdown, let's proceed like nothing happened. Today we're gonna do a Kirby video, like we always have. Escargoon is taking a picture for King Dedede's royal portrait, and King Dedede poses like when you're at a con in a cosplay and someone wants your picture, but you don't really know how to pose, so you just do this. But see, the Polaroid picture develops, and turns out King Dedede has been Dear Davided and is being haunted.
Ghosts don't scare me none.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the chorus to Ghostbusters. Turns out Dedede is a fucking liar and is actually afraid. He goes to Mabel, the fortune teller. I have to remind you because who the fuck remembers Mabel? And she's like, there's a ghost. You're fucked, bro. That'll be $80.
Well, I guess I don't stand a ghost of a chance now.
It's nice to know that even when threatened with death by a poltergeist, Dedede still has the motivation to make bad puns. So the ghost haunts the drawbridge and tries to murder them, remember this. Then Sir Ibram, Ladylike, and Tiff approach them with a problem, which Escargoon gets annoyed about, and I'm just like, what the fuck is Sir Ibram's job again?
We think we've seen a
galloping goblin!
Huh? What's she talking about?
That is a legit question. I do not know what the fuck she just said.
Maybe it was just a pigment of your imagination.
But I saw it too!
And God knows I don't have an imagination. I'm a humorless bitch. So they all have some spooky-ass story about this ghost, but it doesn't seem like it wants to do anything except that. Sir Ibram was in the wine cellar picking out how he's going to deal with his fucking kids tonight. They can't call it a wine cellar because children, so I don't know why they even wrote it in. I haven't seen the original in a while, but like I'm pretty sure they don't call it that in the original either.
I dare say we have a spirit among the spirits, if you'll pardon the unintentional pun, sire.
I don't fucking believe you. I've seen the show. These puns are crafted by only the finest of 4Kids dialogue adapters.
I see the plan. If I move out, you take over the castle.
No, your majesty.
But if you did leave, I hope you'd take Escargoon with you.
You just had to get in an unnecessary jab at the typical gay-coded lackey for a tyrannical king, didn't you? Meta Knight shows up in typical Meta Knight fashion, standing on something to disguise the fact that he's only about 1.5 feet tall. And Meta Knight's like, you did it. And Escargoon is like, of course I did, but they don't know that.
With all due respect, I find it hard to believe that you are not involved with these paranormalities.
This ain't my fault. I get spooked by spooks.
I bet it's one of those monsters!
Is this another plot against Kirby?
So Meta Knight has successfully rallied everyone against Dedede with a single sentence because Meta Knight's bitterness is just that strong. So Dedede calls Spampton G. Spampton's father to get a monster that can catch ghosts. And see, the enemy guy would love to send Dan Aykroyd down, but Dedede's deep in debt, like most people who impulse buy things when they're in a depressive episode and think, this is it, this is the thing that's going to give me dopamine forever. So Dedede just can't fucking decide on a motivation. Ghosts exist, then they don't. He's gonna prove it. Can he prove a negative like that? So Dedede tries to get Escargoon to help him prove one of those things.
Open up, you crustaceous coward!
That's not even the right animal. You weren't even trying. Dedede ends up just not doing that and goes to bed. You hear like a heartbeat sound effect that I'm pretty sure they tell you in Directing 101 to not use to convey attention, like only use it if it's literally someone's heart beating. He's like getting woken up and tormented and shit. Hold on, is that a giant fucking CD player? It's not even drawn into the background, but it doesn't do anything. What the fuck is this? Then Dedede has the Omurashi fetish projected onto him and needs to take a wicked piss, but he needs Escargoon to go with him because that's how he gets off. Also, he's scared to be alone, but probably more the first thing. So Dedede and Escargoon like fuck around for a minute. It doesn't matter. And like he goes and he takes his wicked piss, but then Escargoon is gone.
Escargoon? Escargoon?
Turns out Escargoon was the ghost all along and only Dedede could see him. Then 3 bedsheet ghosts show up. This one is the ghost of a cat girl. But oh, it's Kirby! He finally decided to show up, and hey, you remember that he can easily fly, something they forget a lot in this anime. And also, Lololo and La, they're taking sadistic delight in just mentally tormenting this guy, but like, yeah, I can't think of an argument against it. Guys, what are you standing on? There's no fucking floor.
This way.
Thank you, Meta Knight, we can hear. So DDD's just in a weird fetish fic today, I guess. Kirby's having a great time. I love that no matter how cheerful Kirby seems, it is made abundantly clear on several occasions that he is staunchly holding a grudge against DDD. Like, Kirby is just completely cool with just putting DDD in an actual torture chamber and letting him think he is going to die. Like, Jesus Christ. So DDD just straight up has a heart attack and dies. Then it's revealed that Escargoon's been behind it the whole time. Oh my god, I'm so surprised this episode is just only called the Escargoon Squad. He rewards them with invincibility lollipops. Weird, usually Meta Knight gives those out.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Alright, so I'm not gonna ask the specifics about the literal torture chamber and the passed out guy and the grown man giving candy to several minors. Meta Knight stands on the wall, like we just saw him on the ground a few seconds ago. He actively split from the group to climb up this wall to stand on it. He needs to be tall that much. Escargoon explains that this is just revenge because DDD is just a giant dick as per the usual, and apparently just goes out of his way to freak him out all the time.
Well, that's tragic, isn't it?
He tampered with the photo, he bribed Mabel, which is weird. You think everyone hates DDD so much he probably would have willingly done this for free. And he bribed children with candy to do his dirty work. He also rigged the drawbridge because he just couldn't stand life anymore.
It appears you were able to shamboozle us all.
Meta Knight, are those even fucking words coming out of your mouth? Also, what is with the eyes? I don't understand the decision of giving him mood ring eyes instead of just animating his eyes to be expressive. I don't have the guide that comes with the mood rings. I don't know what emotion this is. Tuff's in trouble, but I'm glad Kirby's in the clear. Like, I'm glad everyone realizes this is just righteous revenge for the 10 consecutive murder attempts. Then DDD wakes up and it turns out he heard the whole thing.
Uh-oh.
Well, this is interesting.
Okay, I'm starting to love Sir Ibram and his just completely blasé, only barely feigning interest reactions to things. Like, yeah, me too, man. So DD is like, it's all my fault, I'm sorry, let me out of these chains so I can give you an apology hug.
My chum. Or should I say my chump? No fool makes a fool out of King Dedede!
DD threatens to murder them, you know, it's fine. But a real ghost.
I do not understand.
Meta Knight's all confused and shit because this clashes with his ultra-dignified stoicism. By the way, please keep doing that, it's very good. The ghost is telling them that he's going to pay, and DDD gives it, like, actual money, and, like, it works. Turns out enemies sent it to scare DDD into paying his fucking bill.
King DDD owed us big time, and this was the only way we could collect.
The only way? This seemed really complicated and specific. How long did you think about this? Then it just once again ends with DDD having learned nothing and Meta Knight being so silently pissed that of all the planets in all the universe, he had to pick fucking DDDs to squat on. Kirby seems pretty happy about this whole thing. He's totally not planning revenge. The end.
Ghosts don't scare me none.